Hello my fragrance lovers and my good-looking companions. Dominic here for fragrance reviews and men's style advice. So before we get into this, I wanted to say that to keep this channel going on a more regular basis, I think one of the things it could do with is a new idea, so like an additional idea. The main idea so far has been reviewing perfumes, fragrances for men mostly, and some comparison reviews and all of that sort of thing. And I thought maybe if I added in tips on men's style, fashion, that sort of thing. And by the way, it's not all about being fashionable. I mean, style is really the thing I'm pushing here. Your personal style, and how do you get your own wardrobe that expresses you in the most efficient way, the way that you really think fits and what you want to express. So I'm going to give you today 5 tips on men's style. So styling, how you can start to get your own style. You know, I'm sure a lot of you have your own style already, but these are some additional ideas. Some of them perhaps you may not have considered, and a lot of these are fairly basic, and each one of these could go on and on about different products related. But those could be for future videos, and if you people like this idea, gentlemen, let me know down in the comments if you think this is a good idea to keep more regular updates on this channel. And then at least hopefully about every week or so maybe there will be some colognes as well as part of the channel, because that will still hopefully be the main focus. But for some fill-in, I think talking about men's style and certain tips and advice and certain grooming products. There's plenty of them out there. You know, you've got the skin products, the hair products, even the beard grooming products, and then certain types of different wear, you know, different types of clothes, formal, smart casual, and what goes with what sort of thing. So I've done a fair bit of research on this, and this is also for my own educational purposes, because I won't say I'm new to this whole thing. I do have quite a bit of experience. There was even something we were doing as part of a college in communications and preparing for interviews, and they went into this in quite a lot of depth about presentation of yourself, but you know, that wasn't a huge thing. But from there I did develop an interest. So let's get started with this video, and if you are new here, consider subscribing and dropping a like there, maybe a comment, because I'm going to be doing, hopefully, if those who have already subscribed like this idea, which I think they will, we're going to be doing similar videos on these topics. And from what I'm going to talk about now, some of you may have some suggestions to go more in depth about the things we're talking about. Right, so the first of the 5 tips I'd like to speak about is when we're talking about, right, so men's style, presentation, one of the, well, not a key thing, but something that people can overlook quite a bit is looking tall, looking a bit taller. There's a very simple trick to do this. Now this doesn't just apply to people who think, oh, I'm a bit too short, you know, I need to look taller, I'm almost like a dwarf or whatever. It's not that kind of thing. Looking tall is actually quite a bonus. It's got this attractiveness to it. If you sort of look sort of tall, you're sort of this elegant, you're sort of tall, handsome, you know, that sort of thing. Right, so one of the key things to do if you just want to look a little taller is you can wear fairly close-fitting pants, trousers. I still use the word trousers too often. I'm not sure if the people around where I live use the word pants a lot usually. So, but close-fitting trousers, jeans, pants. If you wear, like, let's say you've got some sort of jacket, could even be a bomber jacket, but something maybe even a leather jacket, maybe sort of you know, just a blazer, that kind of thing. If you wear, if you know, you have it right down just here, and then the shirt, I mean, or the thing you're wearing underneath the jacket, and if it stops right here, you know, by your hips, even the jacket can go a little further down, but basically if the if the trousers you're wearing are close enough fitting. Now they don't have to be really close around your legs, you know. Some people have this thing where it's got to be really tight, and but you know, if it's tight enough, so I would say close fitting rather than tight. But you know, you could call it tight, I suppose. Then perhaps a pair of boots. You go from looking all right to pretty amazing, because there's this kind of it accentuates your figure. You have you're standing there with a jacket, nice close fitting pair of pants, and then perhaps boots of the same colour as the pants. And that would be black is a good one to go with, but it does depend on what you're wearing up here as well. So that's really just a nice little tip to have, you know, if you want to look a little taller and stand out a bit more, accentuate, you know, your figure in terms of just being that little bit taller, because there's a certain attractiveness to it, and it does depend a bit on your body shape and all the rest of this, and like body build, I'm sorry. You know, and so, but that is a very handy tip that I've learned, and you know, a nice pair of black boots to go with it. It does really make quite a difference, and that is a nice little bit of information I learned from browsing and doing my own research, and I've used it myself, and I don't do it that often. I tend to be a bit regular with my clothing, but that would be tip number one, to look taller, which has plenty of benefits: tight fitting, close fitting trousers, or black jeans perhaps, plus possibly with boots, but it doesn't have to be with a pair of boots. The close fitting trousers will do the job. Okay, so that is tip number one. So for tip number two, it's about jeans. Now these are the most common by far, you know, trousers that men will wear. If you've got a pair of jeans, one of the best types of footwear that will go with that are brown shoes. Okay, it might sound basic, but I'll give even two examples. So you can use the base London Brickdale shoes, kind of a waxy tan, or you could do like something similar to the ones I'm using right now today, in fact. And these just really hit it well with jeans. Nice pair of black shoes, but they just don't quite go as well with a pair of jeans. Then on top of that, for if you're going to be wearing like a jumper, a kind of a cream, almost whitish coloured, creamish coloured is one of the best things you can go with. So a pair of jeans, creamish coloured jersey, jumper, then your brown shoes, you are already looking like a boss just with that, and then some sort of a shirt coming out here, brilliant. And it goes well with whatever almost you have up here as well, because in terms of like jackets, it could be a brown jacket, black jacket, it still look good with the brown shoes if they are with the bluish jeans. Now if you're wearing a pair of jeans that's black, which aren't so common, that's a different story. I'm not sure brown is going to be your best option. But basically that is kind of almost an ABC of wearing a pair of jeans. What shoes do I go with it? A lot of people will go with runners, trainers, you know. I still think the brown shoes give a little bit more class, smart casual. I mean, any type, people wear all kinds of shoes with a pair of jeans, but I think the ones that work the best and that look great are the different types of brown shoes. And that's another thing we can get into, because there's loads of nice shoes out there, different styles and shapes. Ones that are kind of smooth slip-on ones are really quite nice. I actually prefer them to the lace-up ones. They just look very nice, aesthetic, and very smooth, very smart. So yeah, that would be my tip number two, and these are general sort of style tips. The next thing is about the leather jacket. Now, first of all, about leather jackets, they do not have to be leather. However, if you're taking your grooming and your presentation seriously, and you really want to have some style, get the leather jacket. It lasts a long time, and they are, I mean, but there's so many different types. You can have like a sort of, well, I'll call it like sheepskin as well. I mean, it's not really obviously wool or anything, and then you have cowhide, different types, all right? but then again you got the more sort of artificial leather, but it still looks good. They can still look good. But if you want to go with a genuine leather jacket, there's plenty of options out there. And the point about the leather jacket is that one of the best things you can wear with that is nice and basic, nice crisp white shirt. Now, the quality of that shirt is how to up the game even more. You can have sort of thicker ones that aren't just like really plain, but they have a nice sort of texture to them a little bit, and ones that have things going on, and just ones that look a little more sophisticated and stylish. So that just is a great combination. To have they make each other stand out. The jacket makes your nice white shirt stand out, and vice versa. The black jacket is accentuated by this nice white shirt underneath. Some jackets will be open, some will be kind of come down to about here. I think these are the ones I like the best. I've only had one or two in the past, and it's not a common thing I actually use these days, but there is a lovely one I'm thinking of buying. Amazon actually has a good selection of jackets, but then there's so many places you can get good quality ones from, and so you have plenty of options. And these days a lot of stuff is being bought online. So many clothes shops just aren't open, but that is definitely one of the basic tips, which I'm sure you already knew. One of the best things you can do if you've got yourself a nice leather jacket. I mean, there's all sorts of things you can wear. You can even wear almost sort of like a long sleeve t-shirt, but perhaps a little thicker, and that could be kind of greenish. If you have the brown leather jacket, maybe a bit of green and brown, they do go quite well together. But with the black leather jacket, you almost can't do better than have just a white shirt underneath it. But there are other things that will work as well. But certainly that you still look just absolutely the bomb with that sort of thing, and you're not too formal, you know. And then all you need is a few extra things like good pair of pants, shoes, and then your hair done, and you know. But which we will come to next. And this is something I've been working on for a long time. My hair just is not the easiest thing to style. I haven't worked out a style that I really like yet, but it's sort of this clumpy, curly, sort of wavy hair. Now, if you have straight hair, you know, you have a lot of things you can do with it, a lot of ways to style it. But the point of this tip is pick a hairstyle that fits your personality, and obviously your hair type. You know, is it curly, is it wavy, do you like it short, do you like it a little bit longer? And I'm thinking, like, if you do like your hair a little bit longer, I don't mean long, but have some hair up there rather than just shave most of it off. I definitely recommend using styling cream or wax. I mean, there's lots of different terms for this, gel, wax, cream, etc. For that, I mean, you want something that will not necessarily be a gel. Now, that's always an option, but who really wears gel every single day? To keep your hair in place and to give it a little shine, something a bit more sophisticated than just the average gel slapped on might be certain types of what do you call it? Yes, styling cream. Now I have one here that's very basic, but a classic, and it's very good. And this is Braille cream. It's a fairly common English thing. You'll see this in barbershops. You'll usually find it in most stores there. So supermarkets. It's nothing too fancy, but it is. It's not aggressive on your hair, so it's light, it gets the job done, and you'll see a bit of a shine. It's not perfect, but if you're just getting into wanting your hair to stay in one position, that's a good, very affordable option for you to get started with. I'm sure all of you already have a good idea of how you want your hair to look and what to use. If you want to go a little more sophisticated with the hair grooming product, you could try Moroccan oil. That stuff is wonderful. It just does everything. I mean, it's smooth. It gives a nice shine. Your hair obeys just the way you want it to. It even gives a nice little bit of a scent. It's long-lasting. It's fresh. It's the whole lot. It's almost good for you. It's not like really bad against your skin or your hair. So it's definitely one of the other products I'd recommend. But before we go off and mention all of those, that could take up another whole video by itself. Those are just two to get you thinking, but the idea is a hairstyle that you think you like, and then perhaps to keep it the way you want it, some of those products will be nice and addition to keeping up that hairstyle that you want. Now, for my fifth tip, we do have to mention it. Use cologne, but not only that. Consider a signature scent. So yeah, if you're going to be someone who does use cologne, you may as well have a certain presentation, a certain style that that's also sort of respectable and that is attractive, handsome, a whole lot. Because colognes are not used by most men, unfortunately. It's almost like a niche hobby sort of thing. But if you're going to be someone using cologne, then you know some of the above tips to get your style going, or maybe improve it. The cologne then is like the cherry on the cake. But like if you're going to dress well, again, so vice versa, use some cologne. And a signature scent. So okay, there's different times of the year where different ones are appropriate. Dior Sauvage is definitely a brilliant one for almost any man. Now, I think my one would be this. This is probably would be my signature scent, although I haven't really chosen one. This is Acqua di Gio Profumo by Armani, Giorgio Armani. And yeah, I'm afraid it's empty. So I'm very sad about that. But those are my 5 tips. And now these videos can go on a lot longer if I get more in depth. But this is sort of an introduction to sort of a new direction, well, an additional direction to widening the scope of this channel. So I hope you enjoyed those few tips. And do stay with me for another one, and perhaps drop a comment or two down below. And as always, gentlemen, look good and march forward smelling good.